This is the Burmese cat. Although it ranks third among the world's well-known cat breeds, it disappeared from its homeland almost a century ago. Even Burmese people know little about this breed today. In 2008, this breed of cat finally found its way home. These two cabins on Inla Lake are where the newly reintroduced breed now lives. When Wang Hao Man, the president of the China Exploration and Research Society, decided to reintroduce the Burmese cats back into Myanmar, he had to find local partners to ensure the success of the project. He was then introduced to Yin Mio-su. He told her of his plan to bring the Burmese cat back home.
As I told you, when I was studying in Europe, when I said I come from Burma, people said, Burmese cat are very famous, or I do have a Burmese cat, or I used to have a Burmese cat, but I have never seen one of them and didn't know that it is that special, actually. So, yeah, and actually not only me, many people in the country doesn't know about this.
Mio-su runs a lakeside holiday hotel. To begin with, she had no idea what Burmese cats looked like. But as soon as she heard about the project, she was intrigued by its importance and eager to lend her support.
My parents are from this region, and also my grandparents. They are Inda people from Indi Lake.
Having grown up on the lake, Mio-su is well educated and has an innate curiosity nurtured by her parents.
Parents used to have a small guest house called Indi Inn. He started when I was 4 years old, and so my father welcomed the guest, my mother cooked, and I dance at night. That's how I grew up here.
At 12, she went to study hotel management in Europe and returned home 5 years later. Her father gave her this hotel as her 18th birthday present. Through hard work, she has turned the hotel into a resort on the lake. Mio-su's passion about the project moves Wang, who is always rigorous with himself and his colleagues. Meanwhile, Mio-su has the ability and financial resources to keep the project going smoothly. Da Bor and Ji Bai live with their 4-year-old daughter in a small hut in Inpoko village. Ji Bai works at Nan's factory, and Da Bor is a fisherman. During the 2012 dry season, there was very little rain in the area, resulting in a major fall in water levels, and large areas of the lake bed are exposed. In the rainy season, the hut is surrounded by water, and people have to use boats to get around. In July 2012, Wang picks out 7 of his best Burmese cats from the 19 that share his home.
该是带来是2只公的，一只是英国的，一只是澳大利亚的公猫。英国跟澳大利亚的缅甸猫是最标准的，最接近原来的样子的了。
2 male cats and 5 females are put into 7 boxes, guarded by an equal number of people. These animals bear the responsibility for rekindling the breed. Finally, the Burmese cat is returning to its native home. Mio-su asks her French husband to participate in the process of transporting the creatures. She has made all the other preparations necessary for the cats at Inla Lake.
Finally!
2 full days.
Protecting cultures or heritage and try to transmit, and those are important things, I think, because I'm quite proud of being someone from Inle Lake, and just want to transmit whatever I got from them to another generation, which is my duty. I take this as a duty, of course, yeah. But I'm doing it with a lot of pleasure because I really like her.
Both the people and environment around Inle Lake convince Wong that he has made the right choice.
This one's not making any noise. It's been rattling about so much.
Like other people who live near water, the people in this area mainly make a living by fishing. But unlike in other areas, here they control their boats in a unique way. The local people think rowing a boat by foot is faster and less tiring than doing it the conventional way, leaving their hands free to do other things. They can row a boat and catch fish at the same time. This unique rowing style is a familiar sight on Inle Lake. Da Bor has a bamboo tool on his boat that he uses to catch fish. It's bottomless and has a loose fishing net inside. When he sees a big fish, he'll put the tool into the water and use it to ensnare his quarry. This method only works with big fish, as the smaller ones can easily escape. This is what helps ensure that Inle Lake stays clean and full of fish, generation after generation. Mio-Su has built 2 small independent huts beside her hotel. These 2 huts will be the cat's first home in Myanmar.
为什么湖里面这么和谐呢？它这个猫，它正常之下不会游泳就跑掉嘛，也别的猫也不会跑过来跟它交配，就可以控制着它是纯种的。
As the intention is to revive the Burmese breed, anything that could destroy the purity of the cat's lineage is unacceptable to Wong. This is why he's chosen to settle the cats on the lake. Luckily, the cats don't seem to be afraid of their new environment.
当天那些猫就一放出来就很高兴了，好像真的回到家一样。一放到他们新到的房子，哇，到处跑，都不用怎么适应环境，连着头一天就开始交配了，到这里。
This makes Wong and his fellows relieved. They know that as long as the cats feel comfortable, there will soon be kittens.
那个公猫已经很高兴，好像真的回到家一样，已经就在这里交配了，我们都挺高兴。那很快之下几个月下来，就开始繁殖了小猫小猫。
One female Burmese cat can give birth to 5 to 8 kittens in each litter. If all 5 of the females get pregnant, the number of cats will increase dramatically in just a few months. By then, these 2 small huts will be too small for such a large family. If Da Bor catches enough fish, he and his daughter will sell it the next morning. More than 200,000 people live in this area, and each household has 3 to 5 children. Da Bor and Ji Bai have 4, and 3 already have their own families. Their youngest child still lives with them. As the cats produce their young, Wong and Mio-Su begin to build a larger home for them. In 2010, the building was finally ready. It's right next to Inpoko village. Anyone who comes in or out of the village has to pass close to the house. The land for the house was left to Mio-Su by her grandfather. Mio Su thinks her grandfather would be happy to see these cats living here.
Well, my grandparents, I grew up with them, so I had a lot of teaching from them about cultural, social, and religious thoughts about in the people, and especially cuisine also, of course, because my grandmother loves to cook, and they had a very simple life, and until my grandparents passed away, we lived together with them, and the house that I built in the heritage house for the cats is
The people of Inla Lake, both rich and poor, learned their way of life from their elders. In March 2012, Wong comes to Inla Lake once again. The cats are now living in the big house. Mio Su has employed full-time breeding experts and managers. Since arriving in Myanmar almost 4 years earlier, their numbers have greatly increased and their lives look comfortable and peaceful. This time, Wong has brought cat expert Varushka Mold from Australia with him. In 2007, Wong bought 2 cats from Varushka Mold. She's come here to give some professional instruction to the local breeders.
This is my first trip to Burma, and the first time I've seen all the cats. And I must say, I mean, the cats are beautifully looked after. Again, the Burmese nature just comes out in them. They're all very friendly.
With Varushka's approval, Mio Su and King King, who are in charge of taking care of the cats, feel delighted. King King has been Mio Su's assistant for 4 years.
When we opened this home, cat populations were 37, including kittens, and then so we left 10 cats at Inle Princess, and then we moved 27 cats here. But you know, I mean, it's 2008 and 2009, the cat population is getting up, but including kitties and then you know, the adult too. But unfortunately, they were died about, you know, over 10 cats during 2008 and 2012. So over 10 cats were dead. Yeah. So now we left just 47 cats at Inle.
When you have a large number of cats, one has to learn how do you manage that. It's not the same as having one little pet at home. When you are breeding and you have more than one cat, there's a lot of various things one needs to take into account. And that's basically why I'm here.
Over the past 4 years, Varushka has been keeping a close eye on the cats and has given Mio Su and King King a lot of useful advice. Now female cats live with castrated males in the house. The 2 breeding males still live by themselves in the huts. This is to prevent casual mating.
Oh, what a lovely little girl. Now, is she calling?
To help the breed to take root in Myanmar, the first concern is to pass down the best Burmese cat genes. This time, Varushka gives King King more strict scientific instruction. This female is a perfect candidate for reproduction, so King King puts a special collar around her neck.
With the vet, with King King, we're going to be discussing a breeding program. And you need to do this, especially you have a number of cats. You have to have a goal. You have to set yourself what it is you want to do. And you have to have a program. In other words, saying, I'm going to make this cat to that cat. What will I do with the offspring? You have to have different lines. And basically, it's called cat management.
This one. So I'm going to take this one. Okay.
When selecting females in estrus for reproduction, the staff examine their health, appearance, and figure into consideration. This time, Verushka plans to use the cats with brown hair and gray hair. Brown is the most common color for Burmese cats, followed by gray. Kittens whose parents have the same coloring are considered to be of the highest pedigree. Verushka and King take two carefully selected female cats to the boat. The animals are heading for the first home, for the returned Burmese cat in Myanmar.
They ate all the meat, yeah?
Okay.
When they see strangers, the two males in the huts hide away. These huts have become breeding houses for the Burmese cat. As well as these two males, there are also several castrated ones living here. King tries to lure the males by using some females as bait. A few minutes later, one of them finally falls for the trick. This time, Wong has not only brought Verushka with him, but also his assistant, Xiao Ke. Xiao Ke is in charge of setting up an exhibition room for the project to be launched the following month. The exhibition room will allow more people to learn about the Burmese breed, including its history and disappearance from Myanmar. The room is in Inpoko village, right opposite Nan's factory. The two brown cats finally meet in the breeding house. As the dominant male, the cat remains calm. Its confidence appears to frighten the newly arrived female. The male cat was one of the first two to arrive in Myanmar. He is recognizable from the mark on his face. The mark has earned him the nickname Scar. The female soon finds herself a safe place to have a rest. But she keeps staring directly at Scar. Over the following few hours, Scar begins to behave strangely. Although he tries to stay calm, his movements indicate that he's quite excited.
You put her to the male. Unfortunately, the cats, they play hard to get. The female, she's the princess. You know, she gets to sleep in the bed. She gets to eat first. She can walk around, and the male, he just follows her. He shows off in front of her. He rolls around. In fact, they even do somersaults.
Scar hasn't made a move yet, but he never moves out of the female's sight. He does his best to show off his masculine charm. This castrated male is clearly aware that he's no match for Scar and is friendly towards the female. He is quietly watching where Scar and the female will go. Perhaps he wishes he could mate with this female himself. After a couple of hours, the female is more relaxed. Eventually, her desire for food drives her out of the room. Scar follows her closely. Barushka has noticed that Scar is now showing interest in his bride-to-be. But the female is reserved and tends to keep her distance from him. Ji-Bai works in Nan's factory. Her youngest daughter accompanies her to the factory every day. All the other workers' children do the same. The women in this village have grown up around looms and spend their lives working on them. These ancient machines and this traditional craft have become the most important part of their lives. Days later, the relationship between Scar and the female has changed. Scar is no longer as eager as he was before, and sometimes even ignores the female. But she's no longer shy and has become quite attached to him. To begin with, Scar was interested in the female, but now the situation has reversed itself. He will regularly check on her to see if she is pregnant. It's common for cats to have problems, but Varushka is confident that Scar will father kittens in the near future. She's sure he will prove he is worthy of the status of being a pedigree breeding cat. Through sustained effort, the number of Burmese cats at Inla Lake has now increased from 7 to 50. That's enough to ensure the survival of the breed. The next step for King King is to make the efforts of the cat breeders known to a wider public. When she takes a pair of cats to Nan's factory, the workers are all happy to see them.
They were lost, for a century, and then they will live all over the world. So they love they are original country for a long time. So we got, when they come back, we just want to show you the Burmese people, and then so we're very proud of.
Today, the Burmese cat has taken root in the area around Inla Lake. With the expansion of the breed, they will be available as pets to more and more Burmese families. There is good reason to believe that the children growing up beside the lake will take good care of their beloved Burmese cats.